This episode of Tour the World is brought to you by Evergreen Tours, a world of discovery, and Antler, the champions of lightweight luggage. Well, hello there and welcome to Tour the World, real people, real travel experiences. Now, we get to join Aussie tour groups on the road to some pretty amazing destinations. And this week, one that's been on my bucket list for a while, and I know from the emails we get, it's probably on yours as well. This is part one of the best of South America with Evergreen Tours, including a visit to legendary Machu Picchu. The big five for this tour explore two of South America's most vibrant urban centres, Santiago and Lima. Peruvian cuisine is the toast of the culinary elite the world over. Experience one of the most extraordinary archaeological sites on Earth, Machu Picchu. We take you shopping in the markets of the Sacred Valley and relax on a cruise on the tranquil waters of Lake Titicaca. We start our tour with a two-night stopover in Santiago in Chile before flying to the Peruvian capital of Lima to join our group. It's a short flight on to Cusco before heading north through the Sacred Valley to Machu Picchu, then back to Cusco for a three-night stay. Next stop, Puno on the shores of Lake Titicaca, then back to Lima where we say farewell. The tour continues on to Brazil and Argentina. Amazing South America, that distant landmass to the east that we all dream of exploring. Well, the time has come to make that dream a reality, and let me tell you, it was worth the wait. South America is an extraordinary travel destination from start to finish, bursting at the seams with experiences that you will cherish forever. The best of South America is a visual feast from start to finish, and Evergreen Tours makes it so easy. We'll be spending most of our stay in Peru, and let me tell you, this is a country packed with cultural and historic highlights. But first things first, we're on tour, so we're going to need a tour guide. So Gary, how long have you been a tour guide with Evergreen Tours?
I've been a tour guide for going on 10 years.
Okay. Now, what's the best time of the year to come to South America?
Well, I work here October till April. And my favorite time of year is February, March, April. I like low season, which considered here is rainy season. Although it's not raining all the time. They might rain in the evening or early in the morning or maybe a shower in the afternoon. But throughout the day, it's great because you get sunshine and maybe clouded over a bit. You don't have the crowds.
The way that this works, you lead the tour and then there are local guides involved as well. Just explain how that works.
Correct. So I'm the tour director. I meet the people at the airport. I make sure that everything is okay with the hotel rooms, the coordinating the coaches, the guides, the drivers, and then we have local guides everywhere to show us around and explain to us about the places that we're visiting.
Now, finally, what would be your number one tip for someone considering a tour to South America?
Come with an open mind. Expand your horizons and sort of reach out and see what the country has to offer, and you'll enjoy it.
Time to cover off a few of the basics on this tour, starting with accommodation. Evergreen Tours offers a deluxe style of touring. All our hotels are excellent, clean, supremely comfortable, and centrally located. Porterage is included, so your bags are taken up to your room at check-in and brought down again in the morning. Transport is by luxury air-conditioned coach or smaller sprinters, which are more suitable for some of the remote regions we'll visit. There are some big drives involved, but the roads are good and there are plenty of stops along the way. Full coach commentary is provided by our local guides. All my fellow tourists are Aussies and there's a relaxed, friendly feel to the group. Towards the end of the tour, I catch up with some of the group to find out what they thought.
Travelling in a group, I think, has made it a hell of a lot easier. I don't think I would have attempted it solo. As a group, it's been really good. We've been guided around, and any of the dramas, the language hasn't been a drama. I think we've worked, the whole thing's worked very, very well.
Food, the people, the guides that we come across on these tours, they are so passionate about their country and they want to tell you everything they possibly can in a short period of time, and sometimes it's information overload, but go with it, they're passionate.
And we'll hear more from the group along the way. Well, here we are in South America. How exciting is this? Now, Australia is a few thousand kilometres in that direction, I think. It's a long flight, so we're going to take the chance to catch our breath in the charming Chilean capital of Santiago. And I'm going to show you around. Let's go, take a look. Santiago is home to around 6 million people, and it's a prosperous, bustling metropolis. Founded by the Spanish conquistadors in 1541, for me, this city is one of the biggest surprises on this tour. So don't make the mistake of rushing through here on the way to somewhere else. Spend some time getting to know Santiago. You won't be disappointed. We're off on an included city tour, starting with some pomp and ceremony. Santiago's spectacular changing of the guard at the presidential palace is held every odd-numbered day. On to San Francisco Church, the oldest church in Santiago, which also has the distinction of being the oldest colonial building in the country. It's a fascinating place. About 6 million Chileans call Santiago home, and to get a bird's eye view of the city and the distant Andes Mountains, we take the funicular railway 300 metres up to the top of San Cristobal Hill. The funicular was built back in 1925 and has carried some famous passengers in its time, including His Holiness Pope John Paul II, who conducted Mass right here at the foot of the Virgin Mary. The sweeping views are extraordinary. Time for a little sustenance and a couple of local specialties. Now, one of the things that you really shouldn't miss here in Santiago is completo, which actually means hot dog with the lot. Have a look at that. Tomato, onion, avocado. It looks absolutely amazing. Just going to give it a bit of a try. You know what? Completo, fantastico. And let's learn more about Chile's fabulous wine scene from my local guide, Hernan.
Chilean wine has been one of the most beautiful, production and wine in the world because since the Spanish arrived to the continent, they brought the grapes to make wine. The type of wine that is most famous in Chile and in the world is Cabernet. We have the best Cabernet in the world, and it's a French type of wine. And also, Chile nowadays is very well known because the Carmenere. So Chile is some sort of isolated area where we produce very, very good quality food and fruit and of course, wine.
What's new in the world of travel? Check out these Go Travel products that will help you get the most from your travel experience. Tour the world in comfort and style with the 2-in-1 Traveller's Pillow. You'll be on cloud 9 wherever you travel. With a soft velour cover, the 2-in-1 Traveller Pillow converts from a neck support cushion to a handy pillow in no time. And for complete peace of mind during your travels, don't leave home without these secure luggage accessories. including the dual combination luggage lock and handy luggage ID tags, so you'll always know exactly which bag is yours. For more amazing options from the Go Travel product range, visit gotravelproducts.com.au. Now some amazing special offers on Aussie day tours from Tour the World and Do It Tour. Great fun at last minute rates. In far north Queensland, save 10 to 20% on an awesome outer reef cruise, snorkel, scuba dive and scenic flight package with Down Under Cruise and Dive in Cairns. Explore the fabulous outer Great Barrier Reef, then take a scenic chopper flight. A range of reef and rainforest packages are available. Book at doittour.com/TTW. In South Australia, save 10% on a Southern Ocean wildlife encounter with Australian Wildlife Adventures. This extraordinary 3-day tour puts you up close to some incredible marine life. A range of tours exploring the Eyre Peninsula and the Great Australian Bight are available. Book at doittour.com/TTW. All right, welcome to the Peruvian capital of Lima. Now, at first glance, this might not seem like the prettiest flower in the garden, but give it a chance and get under the skin of this amazing city, and you will find a heart that is beating with a passion for life. And it's time for me to get amongst it. Lima is just a 3.5-hour flight from Santiago. It's also home to 1/3 of Peru's population, and as such, it's had its share of social issues to deal with over the years, not least of all, the traffic. But today, Lima is a thriving, buzzing city that offers something for everyone. The historic heart is well preserved and safe to explore. The weather's not too bad either. This is one of the driest places on Earth. It virtually never rains. Now in colonial Lima, this square in the centre of town was the centre of life. Basically over here you had the cathedral, the house of God. Over here you've got the palace, the house of the king. And over here, town hall, the house of the people. Everybody was well catered for right on this spot. We start our tour of the city in the Plaza de Armas. The city was founded by Conquistador Francisco Pizarro in 1535 and laid out around this square. The Spanish, of course, brought Catholicism to the New World, and today around 80% of Peruvians regard themselves as Catholic. We make our way to the nearby Santo Domingo Church and Convent for a guided tour. Santo Domingo houses a staggering collection of religious art. It was first completed in the late 16th century, then rebuilt several times. The convent features a gorgeous central courtyard with magnificent colonnades. It's the perfect spot to beat the heat. Now here's your chance to win an amazing Aussie escape for 2 people in beautiful Broome from Tour the World and SUNWILD Holidays. This prize includes return airfares from your nearest capital city, 5 nights at the fabulous Cable Beach Club Resort and Spa in a Garden View studio, a full breakfast daily and airport transfers, a stylish set of the new super strong but extra light Juno luggage from Antler, the champions of lightweight luggage, a selection of Go Travel products to help you get the most from your travel experience, and a men's holiday wardrobe to the value of $500 from our good friends at Uberman, New Brisbane store, now open. To enter, just tell us in 25 words or less why you need an Aussie escape with Tour the World. To enter, visit tourtheworld.com.au. It's a short flight on to Cusco and an hour's drive to the heart of the gorgeous Sacred Valley. The elevation here is just under 3,000 metres and you'll need some time to acclimatise, so we take things pretty easy for the first day or so. The Sacred Valley of the Incas is an extraordinary place with gorgeous market towns like Urubamba and Ollantaytambo. This is a way of life that essentially hasn't changed for centuries. I learn more from our amazing local guide. So David, tell me about the area that the Sacred Valley covers.
Well, actually the Sacred Valley comprehends from the very end in the Pisac town to Machu Picchu. So I'm talking about 70 miles more or less.
70 miles.
70 miles of valley, more or less.
And just give me a bit of a feel for the people that live in the valley. Who actually lives here?
Well, talking about the Incan times, the people who lived here were mainly farmers. And they were straight related with the noble class people who lived in Cusco. Nowadays, we are still having farming here, not as important as it was in those days, but most of the people are farmers.
And we get a chance to meet some of the pint-sized locals during a visit to this primary school near Ollantaytambo Tambo. We're treated to a presentation prepared by the children, including songs and a performance from this budding young actor.
Johnny, Pakali, Roberto, Hawapi, Mama, Despa, Anyai.
At first it was an eye-opener because I actually work at a school and they just have the basic blackboard, one little desk and chair. I noticed how the students were so happy to see us and so loving and thankful. When we first walked in, like they gave you a seat, they came up and cuddled you and we gave them gifts, and you could tell that they don't get those gifts and they were just so beautiful. They did a dance for us to welcome us and they had done drawings to give us, and it was lovely.
Hola! Now, let me tell you, travel is not all about taking things away, taking away experiences and memories. It's also about giving something back. And the fabulous thing about this tour is that Evergreen Tours supports this local village in the Sacred Valley, and it's a chance for us to come along and meet these guys and just see what life is like for some of the locals. And it's just been the most fabulous morning, and I've even got this little gift. Gracias, gracias. All right, now there is a little bit of Indiana Jones in every one of us in search of lost civilizations and ancient worlds. Well, it is time to get your Inca on as we take you to Machu Picchu in just a couple of minutes. But right now, let's learn more about this fascinating culture. The first stop on our Inca trail is the ruins of Pachacamac on the outskirts of the city of Lima. This is a Discover More option with Evergreen Tours, and it's a fascinating introduction to the Inca civilization, which ruled from the highlands of Peru for about 3 centuries. The Incas were finally conquered by the Spanish in the late 1500s. There are some 17 pyramids on this site alone. Now, this settlement existed for several centuries before the Incas, but they maintained and expanded it as a religious centre, and it included an oracle or direct line to the gods. It's an incredibly interesting place. And while debate still rages about the role of sacrifice in Incan civilization, there seems to be plenty of evidence that it did occur. Next stop, the market town of Ollantaytambo in the Sacred Valley, and its giant Inca fortress which still stands guard over the local population. This is one of the most intriguing Inca sites we'll visit on this tour. All right, now I want you to step over here into my little Tour the World time machine, because we are travelling back in time to the world of the Incas. Now, Ollantaytambo is perhaps the most complete Inca settlement in existence. So basically there are 260 steps from the town up to the top of the mountain, which is where the temple was located. But what's more interesting in some ways is the town itself, because there are homes down there that were built in the 14th and 15th century by the Incas, and people are still living in them. So in effect, this is a living Inca city. It's just amazing. There's plenty of time later to explore the town below and its Inca streets. But for now, our local guides give us some of the history of the fortress, which served as an Inca stronghold against the Spanish in the early 1500s. The Incas got one up on the conquistadors by flooding the floor of the Sacred Valley, but were ultimately driven back towards the highlands and Machu Picchu, which is exactly where we're headed next. Now, international flights are a massive part of your holiday budget, but how do you get the best possible deal? Well, I'm going to ask Daniel at SUNWILD Holidays.
I get that question asked a lot, Adam.
I bet you do.
How do you get the best deal? Well, if you're going to the US or Europe, then the early birds are normally released between October and March. But the best way to secure the best deal is to join the SUNWILD Holidays mailing list, pre-register your travel plans with us, and we can do all the hard work for you.
Fantastic. Well, how easy is that? And of course, you can do that online. Now, I know that you've got another amazing offer for viewers tonight.
We do indeed, Adam. This week, SUNWILD Holidays is offering a $500 voucher for selected tours and 30% off a fully comprehensive travel insurance policy.
Now, for more details, go online or give the number on your screen a call right now, because I know Daniel and his amazing team are standing by to take your call.
We're ready to go right across Australia right now.
Fabulous. Well, we'll talk to you next week for another tour tip, but let your experience start here. SUNWILD Holidays, your tour specialists. Now some more amazing special offers on Aussie day tours from Tour the World. In Victoria, save 20% on a boutique wine tour of the gorgeous Macedon Ranges with Mike's Wine Tours, offering small group tours, personal service and expert knowledge. Includes a delicious restaurant lunch and tastings at some of the region's best wineries. To book, call Mike's Wine Tours and mention Tour the World. In southeast Queensland, save $40 per couple on Brisbane's closest hot air balloon ride with floating images. Just 30 minutes drive west of the CBD. A magical 1-hour city and country balloon flight, including a restaurant breakfast and flight certificate. To book, go online and enter promo code TTW0814 or call Floating Images and mention Tour the World. For more details on these special offers, visit tourtheworld.com.au. Well, the big day finally arrives and we get off to an early start, boarding the comfortable Vistadome train for the journey to Machu Picchu Station. There's a real sense of expectation on the train and the passing scenery is absolutely spectacular. And after a short bus ride into the mountains, we arrive at the gates to the Citadel. Machu Picchu. Welcome to the celestial city, Machu Picchu. All right, now there are a few essential items of kit for this visit to Machu Picchu. There's a lot of stairs. Well, you don't build a kingdom in the sky without them. So you need a really good pair of walking shoes. You need a walking stick, a hat, and a sense of adventure. Oh yeah.
Well, Machu Picchu, it's a very important city. Actually, it was a very important city during the 15th century for the Incan civilization. According to some scholars, it was possibly built around the 1438, 1440s during the reign of Pachacútec. As you know, the most important Inca leader in those years. So Machu Picchu was basically like a kind of administrative center for all the area that the Incans call Antisuyu, which is the jungle area of the empire. Since the 2007, Machu Picchu is considered as one of the new 7 wonders of the world. According to the UNESCO, they recommend 2,500 people per day, as maximum, to have like a comfortable environment so everybody could enjoy of the experience.
What does Machu Picchu mean to you as a Peruvian?
Coming to Machu Picchu every time, I can feel what my ancestors did, how hard was their lives. And I feel so identified with Peru coming to Machu Picchu. And also it's like, it's a dream come true.
Well, I was always told Machu Picchu was a lovely place, a very special place, so I decided to make it a very special occasion at the same time, and insisted that Robin walk to Sungate, and it was a great experience. And at the top of the mountain I sort of
Well, it was breathtaking.
decided to pull the ring out and ask Robin to marry me. So,
Well, I was here approximately 20 years ago, and I still had the same feeling when I saw, they said, now wait for it, and we came through that little archway and there it was again, and I felt the same feeling as I did 20 years ago. I think this experience for me was watching the others in my group experience it from my hometown as well, and one of our ladies are in their 70s, and where she hadn't done so many things during the trip, she did take on Machu Picchu, and she was so proud of herself when she did that, and having the photos go off to the family, and they were so proud of her as well, so any age group can do it.
Well, if Machu Picchu has inflamed your imagination, it doesn't end here, because there's still the mystery of the lost city of El Dorado to be solved. The Inca paradise that's said to be paved with gold and riches, and it's somewhere in these amazing mountains. Now, if you think this tour ticks all the boxes on your holiday checklist, then call Evergreen Tours or go online to evergreentours.com. For more episodes of Tour the World, visit our website or track us down on Facebook. Well, that is just the beginning of this amazing adventure. Now, next week we travel on to Cusco, absolutely packed with history, and a visit to the fascinating floating islands of Uros on Lake Titicaca. Don't miss it. Special thanks, of course, this week to Evergreen Tours, and we will see you next week. Bye now.